Good evening, it's September 13th, 2022, and this is the regular council meeting of the Municipality of St. Paul. It's just after 5:30 p.m. and I am calling the meeting to order. We have been provided with an agenda and we need to adopt that agenda. Can I get a mover and seconder to adopt as presented, please? Posthumous and Horechko, all in favor? That's carried. And we have adoption of the minutes from the council/planning meeting. We only had one meeting in August. These are the minutes from that meeting. That's August 23rd, 2022. Were there any edits to these minutes? Suzanne, I think that was the one I mentioned. Small, was it? Okay. Good. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Duval and Devlin. All in favor? Carried. All right, under bylaws, we have second and possibly third reading of the senior administration bylaw as it is being proposed to be renamed. We have the report in front of us, but before we get to anything, can I get the motion please put on the floor?
Be resolved that bylaw number 2022-13 being a bylaw of the Arm of St. Paul to authorize hours of work, remuneration, and benefits for senior administration employees not covered under another bylaw, a collective agreement, or a fixed term contract beginning second reading.
Thank you. We have seen first and second, we have seen first reading of this. So are there any questions? You have a question?
No, we're just going to pass it.
We've put it on the floor. I just didn't call for a mover, sorry. Mover and seconder. You moving it, seconded by Posthumous. Thank you, Horst. You can have it by now, right? Okay, the motion's on the floor. Go ahead, Councilor Bell.
This isn't a question, just want to point out that we added comments by the ACAO remind people to read that. The last one it says it is recommended that reviews be conducted. Oh, sorry. The middle one, it will be necessary to conduct a more comprehensive review following the municipal election, including the labor market analysis of salaries. I intend to support this. Just make a note of that.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, then we've got the motion for the second reading on the floor. We have a mover and seconder. All in favor? That's carried. And can I get the resolution please for the third reading?
Be resolved that bylaw number 2022-13 being a bylaw of the RM of St. Paul to authorize hours of work, remuneration, and benefits for senior administration employees not covered under another bylaw, a collective agreement, or a fixed term contract beginning third reading. And be it further resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the bylaw on behalf of the municipality.
Thank you. Can I get a mover and seconder? Duval? Posthumous? Discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Right, the next item is under policy, and this is the community services manager job description. Can I get the resolution, please, Suzanne?
Be it resolved that the manager of community services job description JD 184 be approved as presented.
Thank you. Move in second. Devlin, Duval, discussion? All in favor? That's carried. We have 4 items under finances. The first is the schedule of accounts. If I can get that resolution, please.
Be it resolved that the schedule of accounts dated September 13th, 2022, amounting to $18,750 be confirmed as paid.
Thank you. Move in second. Duval and Horechko, discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Next item under finances is the schedule of accounts paid since August 23rd. Please, Suzanne.
Be resolved that the schedule of accounts paid since the August 23rd, 2022 meeting of council amounting to $955,246.65 be confirmed as paid.
Thank you. Move in second. Devlin, Rachel, discussion? All in favor? That's carried. And payroll, please.
Be it resolved that the net payroll and council indemnities for the RMLD St. Paul for August 23rd, 2022 to September 13th, 2022 amounting to $157,178.37 be approved.
Thank you. Can I get moved in second? Duval and Postumus, discussion? All in favor? That's carried. The last item under finances is the statement of revenues and expenditures up till August 31st. Resolution, please.
Be it resolved that the statement of revenues and expenditures for the month ending August 31st, 2022 be approved.
Thank you. Can I get a mover and seconder? Duval and Devlin, discussion? All in favor? That's carried. All right, under operations, the first item is 811 active transportation plan and priorities for the resolution. Please, Suzanne.
Be it resolved that council adopts the active transportation plans and priorities as presented.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, please. Rechko and Postumus. Discussion? Councilor Goodell?
Go down to the connectivity plan priorities, I guess that's. That.
Yeah, could you just point out which page you're referring to, Brian?
Under this item, there are 4.
Does it have a page number on the report there? No? Okay,
Opening the 4th item on that, under that particular. Request for
it's got a
decision.
paper copy, so it doesn't relate exactly.
is the one connectivity plan priorities. First one that charts the priorities.
So I've got 2 connectivity ones, which are the first or the second one?
That's
Figure 13 or 14?
okay. I don't know.
Figure.
It's the graphics, the chart.
The 104, page 104.
Okay.
This one.
That one. Or is this one?
There's about 4 of those,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Page 104.
That's the first one on the list, Brian, on that. Top.
Four of them, and it's active transportation connectivity plan, part and priorities.
Rural way, waterway crossing.
First, that's the first
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Rural, yes, rural. Should be 4 pages. There you go. Here's the first
She's
one.
looking for you. Okay.
And you can see there is two groups here. One is priorities of the RM priorities. Those items listed there, high priority, medium, and low priority. And then there are the same high, medium, and low, but more priority, MORR, the consultant's priorities. Okay. So what I find that, I'm sure no one's going to be surprised and reason this point here. When I look at the consultant's priorities, under high priority, the second item there, this page, I presume it means high, path on east side of Birds Hill Road from Podmount to Silver Fox Place. That's the one that was right past the entrance to System Park. Yeah. I brought that up quite a number of times about how dangerous it is. And the consultant chose to put that very high on the high priority list. Whereas the RM priorities doesn't mention it at all anywhere. So,
So maybe we can ask one of the trail members to speak to that.
I could if you like.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Yes, for clarification, Councillor, the priorities, the projects themselves were categorized into 3 groups. Ones that the RM could undertake on its own initiative as priorities. second set of groups were ones that were on private lands, and when the opportunity presented itself, because it was on private lands or development, they should be pursued at that time. So when a development perhaps was occurring, these priorities could be taken advantage of then. The third group is ones that are on provincial lands or otherwise. So if you scroll down to the fourth table, you will see that it is listed as the fourth one down on the fourth table, which is under the provincial set. And the provincial projects are ones that are on provincial lands that are contingent on provincial projects or provincial initiatives. So those ones haven't been prioritized, neither have the ones that are on private lands. What has happened is we've lumped those to sort of take advantage of them when an opportunity presents itself, whether there's a chance to partner with the province, whether the province is undertaking a project or initiative, or some sort of dialogue has to occur with the province to have that one happen. So we've kind of grouped them into ones that we can run with on our own, which are RM priorities, and stage as part of our capital program. Ones that are going to be dependent on either expropriation or outside development, and ones that have to be partnered with in the province. So it hasn't fallen off the list. It hasn't disappeared. It is on the list, but it's on the list that it requires provincial partnership. If you see it on the fourth table. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Great, we have the resolution on the floor. It's been moved and seconded. Yes, I'll call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Just a question on that. Are we going to put our transportation plan online?
We can, certainly.
Now that we've adopted the priorities, I think it's probably a good time to provide access to it.
Yeah, the transportation plan being the active transportation plan. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the one we just
Right.
we discussed.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why not.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, the next item is 812 track excavator purchase for the resolution, please, Suzanne.
Be resolved that council approves the purchase of a 2017 GPC track excavator from Westcon Equipment for a total purchase price of $84,780 plus tax.
Thank you. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Devlin and Duval. Discussion? Hearing none, call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Next item is 821. It's the sanitary sewer flushing and cleaning program.
Be resolved that the 2022 sanitary sewer flushing program be awarded to Unijet Industrial Pipe with a budget of set amount of $60,000.
Thank you. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Postumus and Duval. Discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Next item under fire is the purchase of an auto extrication equipment. For the resolution, please.
Be resolved that council approve the purchase of automobile extrication tools from Rocky Mountain Phoenix for the cost of $56,722 plus tax.
Thank you. Mover and seconder, Postumus and Horachko. Discussion?
For council, following our GPC meeting, I ran into Chief Ray Riddles and asked about if we needed to keep it or fix it. We have two already. So this is like the one that's over 20 years old. So when we buy a new one, we will still have two in very good working order. And then they will look to sell the old one or possibly give it to someone that doesn't have one. So we still will have.
I received an explanation from our ACAO.
Okay.
Some information. I kind of wish you would have had at the GPC meeting. But
Yeah.
nonetheless.
I just have to run to street stock. So, yeah, we have to, we'll be good.
Well, I think it demonstrates too the purpose of the GPC is when there's information short, it can be brought over. That is the whole purpose of it. It can come to this meeting and we've got it all. We don't have to bounce it to another council meeting. And I did ask one question that wasn't on there, because they made note of the 20-year timeline. The equipment's actually 30 years old. So, well, I didn't see it included in the first report, so it is significantly done its duty.
Want to, because you could have 2 calls easily.
Alrighty, so with that on the floor, we've got it moved and seconded. And the discussion, I'll call for the question, all in favor? And that's carried. Next item is the very popular Cycler pilot program. Suzanne, what are we up to?
217.
217? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Can I get the resolution on the floor, please, before we discuss?
Be resolved that council approve the purchase of 100 additional food cycling machines from Food Cycle Science for the cost of $25,000 plus shipping and taxes.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Moved by Horechko, seconded by Postumus. Discussion?
Yeah. Based on that, we have 217 applications. I would like to change that to make it 117 units that we buy so that everybody gets looked after versus 17 people. You know, I think it's going to, change the math that much.
We have had a few people drop out of the program. So
Okay.
I think time will tell, on October 6th and 7th, how many people actually come in to pay for their units. So I
Safe to say we'll have enough drop off.
I think that we
Oh,
will
I see.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, once people have to put the money down and come in and do it, 200 will probably, there'll be extras. Okay, any other questions? All right, we have the motion on the floor, moved and seconded, all in favor? That's carried. All right, the next item doesn't have a resolution behind it. I did put it on late the day before the agenda went out. I met with Peter Martin of Transcone Legion. Everybody who's familiar with Peter here, him and Wendy Galligan were the 2 coordinators of our centennial year. And Peter is very active in the Legion, and he reached out to me and asked to meet with me to talk about this program. And I guess it came about where one of his relatives was down in the States. They were going into different restaurants and hotels and such, and they were always asked at the counter, are you military, police, serving police, or CAA, right? Because there's most places have discounts for that. And he mentioned this to Peter, and Peter doesn't leave any stone unturned. He starts at a project right away and thought it would be a positive project to bring forward here in Winnipeg. And he, because I know him from the Centennial, he reached out to say, would East St. Paul like to potentially become part of that program? It's not a big invasive project. It's more people are doing it themselves. It's either discounts or just acknowledging. And I had a couple of really good examples. That one was for monetary, like a restaurant could give you 10% off, or other places. I haven't approached her yet, so I won't give all the details, but it's one of our schools here that have the kids go and put poppies on the cenotaph every Remembrance Day. And we've actually done that in our newsletter. So that's also showing support for veterans, is helping in that education piece. And so businesses and any type of government agency, schools, any kind of facility can show respect and support veterans. Doesn't have to be necessarily monetary. And you can see in the picture that the blue picture is a small sticker that goes in the window of the business. And basically saying we support our veterans, and when veterans come in, if there's a monetary support, they have to show a veterans card. Every veteran carries one with them. So it's something they already have. And so this was simply an ask to see if we would be interested in launching it here. And so what I committed to doing when I spoke with Peter is that I'd bring it forward to council. And if council was in support of it, we would send something out on our airwaves, on our municipal website, our newsletter. And I would be willing to approach a couple to see if they would like to jump on. And then if we do it in the newsletter, we can use those two businesses as examples potentially to get it going. But it's basically, would we support it through our social media and our distribution channels. So that's where I'm bringing it forward here.
We're just looking for the promotion.
Just the okay for me to do the promotion piece and get it sent out. Peter's been on, I didn't put it in here, but you can Google him with CTV News. He did a breakfast TV thing when he talked about this program, so he's been getting a bit of traction on it. Mostly Transcona businesses thus far, because that's where Peter lives and works. And one of the insurance firms there jumped on board, and they offer up to $1,500 free on legal transactions for in-home sales if you sell your house with them. So they can't give money, but they're giving, a service. So so everybody's kind of finding a different way to support it. So that was that.
Yeah, he was at our farmers market actually.
What was it?
That's how-
So if everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll coordinate with Suzanne and Donna and make sure that we get that out. By the way, the RM would probably hang one of those stickers because we've done a lot for the Legion and for veterans. Our street signs, we passed our new street naming bylaw, which requires them to use veteran names for any new developments. We've done, the banner project, we've supported that project. So we're one of those governments that we could be the first one proudly put that sticker in our window. But there's no discount for taxes, Suzanne, so if they ask. All right, now Suzanne, was it council member reports today? Yes, I think it is. We had a shorter period between the two, but I'm just reminding that those are there to come in. We have some correspondence in the package, no questions arising from correspondence. All right, we do have one item in camera tonight, so if I can get the resolution, please, to go in camera.
Be resolved that council now move in camera as per section 152(3) of the Municipal Act to discuss legal matters, and be it further resolved that all matters discussed while in camera are to remain confidential as per section 83(1)(d) of the Municipal Act.
Thank you. Can I get a move for a seconder, please? Rich, go and then Thomas, all in favor? It's carried, and we're now in camera. All right, we are back from in camera. Time is 6:30, and get the resolution please.
We'll need a mover and a seconder for coming back into cameras. So be it resolved that council now moves out of camera and resumes the regular meeting of council.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried.
And be it resolved that the meeting be adjourned, the time being 6:33.
Second, please. Rich, go, Thomas, all in favor? Carried, and the meeting is adjourned.